Hey, and welcome back to another Campus Life ClubCast. We are so happy to have you join us again here on the internet. And we're so excited to be celebrating our 20th year of these video clubcasts. What? This is only our fifth one? It feels like it's been so long. Ugh. Well, to be honest, there isn't much new to report on the national level today. So I thought we could focus on some local things we've been noticing right here in Tuscaloosa. Took my dog for a walk on the Riverwalk over the weekend, and gosh, I'm so happy that place has stayed open to provide some outdoor time in all this. But as people are growing more and more claustrophobic in their homes, we've noticed a large influx of people frequenting these large public areas. Thankfully, it seems like everyone is doing their best to practice safe social distancing. This isn't about that. Look, I'm just going to shoot it straight. People, please clean up after your dogs. Like, if you're new to the world of humans who go out in public, there's this unwritten rule about, well, actually, I'm pretty sure it's a written rule. They even put out little bags for you to use. Clean up after your dog. Also, I've seen the grass. When did people start bringing horses to the Riverwalk? Good God. I mean, if that's your dog leaving that, you need to bring a 13-gallon trash bag with you and then make an appointment with a vet ASAP. But at least stop leaving it on the public trail. While we're airing grievances, I might as well bring this up. Gas stations, if you're gonna be open, your restroom should be too. You might say, well, we're worried about COVID spread through the bathrooms. But give me a break. I went into a gas station restroom a couple weeks before everything closed down. And yes, I washed my hands back then too. Crazy. And after being there for a few minutes, I felt like I had to go home to shower and cry. When is the last time anyone went into a gas station bathroom and didn't expect to get a disease? Seriously, I think if it came down to it, all the other germs and diseases lining the walls and surfaces would bully the coronavirus right out of there. So if you're going to close your restroom for public safety reasons, you should at least consider cleaning it when we're not in a pandemic. I guess what I'm trying to say is, if I'm an hour away from my house and there's not going to be a single public restroom open between here and there, I shouldn't be the one to get the ticket if there's a problem. Just to break for a moment, we're making jokes here, but we here at Campus Life are actually really grateful to the gas station workers, restaurant workers, truck drivers, doctors, nurses, all the people who provide our essential services for the work that you're doing to keep us all safe and bring us the things that keep us going. Thank you. Now, back to the jokes. And while we're on the topic of thank yous, I'd like to take this opportunity to write a few thank you notes to some of the other entities deserving of our thanks. So, without further ado, dear springtime Alabama thunderstorms, thank you for making sure that we all truly are staying home and being isolated. The arson on campus was a bold move, but I guess roll tide. Dear sports cancellations, thank you. Now in the evenings, we have to actually talk to and get to know our families. P.S. I know them now. Please come back quickly. Dear Tuscaloosa Parks and Recreation Department, thank you for reopening all the parks on the weekends, just in time for the storms to hit and wash away the week. Dear hypochondriac friends, thank you for being the first ones to take up washing your hands and social distancing. Please, we get it with the I told you so's. You can stop now. Finally, dear quarantine munchies, thank you for making sure that I keep social distancing if the beaches ever reopen. All right, well, today we've got a special treat, the world premiere of the new hit show, Real Housewives of Quarantine. Stay tuned and check it out.
We may have to social distance, but I can be social from a distance.
I live by one simple rule. I'm simple, and I rule. Wait, we may be locked inside, but I'm out there.
If I'm going to be stuck in quarantine, I'm not holding back this shade. You can still throw a drink at someone from 6 feet away.
Social distancing doesn't matter as long as I can still flex on Instagram. Oh, no, she did not post that. Oh, goodness. Look, just because we're stuck inside, honey, does not mean you can just post anything. If you let your brand suffer, then the virus wins, honey.
Today we're getting all the girls together for our first Zoom hangout since the world shut down. And I'm going all out. You have to have your angles right. Just because it's on video doesn't mean that you can show your bad side.
Hey, quarantine, what's up? Okay, hot guys. Did you guys hear that Marissa went to Walmart and did not even wear a face mask? Hope. No, we can't hear you. Your lips are just moving. You have to unmute. Unmute, sweetie. It's the button on the bottom left. The little micro. Unmute. We can't. She's just like telling a story. Are you listening to us? Unmute, honey.
I have a bunch of different names for the quarantine depending on the mood. If I want to throw a little shade at it, it's the quar. Like, I can't believe we're still in this quar. But if I'm having fun with it, then it's the teen. Like, we're all just hanging out on video chat in the teen. I'm not like made for this quarantine stuff. Like, I put like 3 hours into my makeup this morning, and for what? The camera is too pixelated over FaceTime to even matter. If no one is gonna tell me I'm cute and mean it, I have nothing.
The Real Housewives of Quarantine will be back after these messages.
Feeling isolated? Missing things like conversation and companionship? We at Amazon understand times are tough for everyone and have someone who can help. Amazon Echo COVID Edition brings all the convenience of Alexa to your quarantine with a number of new exclusive features. It's the only smart speaker device designed specifically for your COVID experience. It's got the latest in sports.
Alexa, book me 2 tickets to the first Dodgers home game.
All public events in Los Angeles have been canceled until 2021. Setting alert to purchase tickets, 11.5 months from today.
It pairs with all your digital streaming services to make helpful recommendations.
Alexa, what's streaming on Netflix?
Chase, you have literally watched all of Netflix.
It keeps up with and organizes all your important appointments.
Alexa, remind me that I have a Zoom class at 9.
Reminder set, put on pants at 8:55 a.m.
It assists you with no contact ordering and your personal banking.
Alexa, order our usual from Taco Casa.
Chase, you have already had Taco Casa 3 times in 4 days. Your bank account is also low. Can I recommend you get off your butt and cook the rice and beans you have already purchased in the kitchen? Actually, after calculating today's ratio of caloric intake to exercise, may I recommend just an apple for your health?
It even helps you stay in touch with ones you love.
Alexa, when was the last time I saw another human being or had a hug?
It has been 31 days and 45 days, respectively. Would you like to call a therapist?
The new Amazon Echo. Order yours today.
I speak my mind whether you want to hear it or not. No virus can stop that.
Quarantine isn't so bad when you can do it from a beach house. My 2020 vision board, diamonds, sass, queen, and quarantine is not gonna mess with that. I only order the best designer face mask. Unlike that trash I've seen Carrie wear.
She said, what about me? The second that we can touch faces again, my hand will be slapping hers. Okay?
Oh, those two? They've got some beef, but you can't blame them. I mean, Carrie's husband is social distancing left and right, and Fate's out here acting like her designer masks are going to protect her and keep her safe, but really she should be more worried about her outfit.
Like, I know you're struggling right now. Like, I get that. I get that. But can we just talk about me for a second? I just can't, you know? It's just so hard to be this beautiful and rich and fun and not even be able to share that with the world. I just can't, you know, like, you know.
We'll be right back.
Have you heard about the new Amazon Echo COVID edition? It brings the convenience of Alexa to your quarantine with new exclusive features. Like a shot collar feature, it lets you know if you're encroaching the CDC's recommended social distancing guidelines when away from home. It also has a great sense of humor.
Alexa, what day is it?
What day do you think it is?
Saturday?
No, it only feels like Saturday. Try again.
Tuesday?
Sure, let's go with that.
The Amazon Echo COVID edition. Get yours today.
Chase, it has been 5 hours since our last interaction. Are you still there?
I want to tell you a story that defies our expectations of how we would typically qualify a person or deem them worthy of love. This story is super impactful to me because my job in campus life is actually called parent life. I work with teen parents, and unfortunately, they have all too often felt what it's like to be unfairly judged and outcasted by friends and adults alike. So, there's this woman in the Bible. She's going to this well to get a drink of water, and Jesus shows up. Well, what's interesting about this is the fact that she is a Samaritan woman and Jesus is a Jew. There was a whole lot of racial tension between Samaritans and Jews. They hated each other. In fact, Jews typically avoided this place altogether. So Jesus looks at her and asks, "Please give me a drink." The woman was stunned. She said, "I'm surprised you asked me for a drink. You are a Jew and I am a Samaritan woman." And Jesus replied, "If you only knew the gift God has for you and who you're speaking to, you would ask me and I would give you living water." His response shocked the woman, but as if that wasn't enough, Jesus told her he could give her living water so that she would never thirst again. Jesus used the word living water to describe eternal life, the gift that satisfies her soul's desire only available through him. Still, not fully understanding him, she said, "But sir, you don't have a rope or a bucket. How could you get this living water?" Jesus replied, "Anyone who drinks this water will soon become thirsty again. But those who drink the water that I give will never be thirsty again. It becomes a fresh, bubbling spring within them, giving them eternal life." I mean, really, could you imagine what that must have been like for her? I think of all the times in life where we try to fill our soul's desires, and it's never really enough. Whether it's with dating relationships, money, cars, things, they're all temporary. Nothing ever fills that eternal void. But here we have Jesus offering her eternal life, and just like that, she starts to get it. She says, "Please, sir, give me this water and I'll never be thirsty again." And then the story shifts, and actually, it's one of my favorite parts. Jesus looks at her and says, "Go and get your husband." She replied, "I don't have a husband." Jesus said, "You're right. You don't have a husband, for you've had 5 husbands, and you aren't married to the one that you're living with now." And I imagine in that moment her heart sank. He knew her truth. He knew why she was there all by herself instead of going when the rest of the people would have been there. She was unfairly judged and outcasted by everyone else for her past. So, ashamed, the woman began to talk about religion and politics to kind of change the subject. But then she ends it by saying, "I know that the Christ is coming, and he will explain everything to us." Jesus told her, "I am the Christ." And then it clicks. She really gets it. I'm sure in that moment it all made sense. Jesus wasn't judging her, he was unconditionally loving her in spite of her past. You see, something I love about this story is that it shows that you don't have to have it all together for Jesus to use you. The Bible tells us that Jesus doesn't call the qualified or the people who have it all together. He qualifies who he calls. And the beautiful part in that is that it means that he can use me and you and even a woman who had 5 husbands and was living with one she wasn't married to. By reaching out to the Samaritans, Jesus showed that his mission was to all people, not just the Jews. Jesus didn't care about her race, her gender, her beauty, her age, and even past. He cared about her eternity. And that just blows my mind every time I think about it. Then, filled with a bravery that she never had before, she ran into town and told the very people that she was once avoiding, "Come see a man who has told me all I've ever done. Could he be the Christ?" Thinking about this woman and of what Jesus must have meant to her, what if all she was waiting on was for one man to truly know her, know all of her past and her shameful history, and what if she was just waiting on this one man to stay? Jesus stayed. And that brings me to a question that I want to leave you with. What if all the junk you thought you had to hide, all the things you thought you had to figure out, what if Jesus already knows? What if, just like this woman, Jesus is waiting to unconditionally love you despite your junk? I believe he is patiently waiting on you at the well to choose eternal life through Christ. But will you choose him?
Well, we hope you guys enjoyed this. As always, thank you for tuning in. We really appreciate you guys joining us every week for the stuff that we're putting together. And as always, we want to leave you guys with something to reflect on as you go into this next week. So today, that's going to be, what is the secret that if people knew, it would ruin me? And what if Jesus already knows it? So with that, we hope you have an awesome week, and we'll see you next time.